Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we are diving into a special challenge in Noble Fates. If you've never played it, it's a strategy kingdom management game where you just try not to die. Today, the name of the challenge is One Family Survival. A la Oregon Trail, can we survive with just one family? Part of the stipulation of this challenge is that I'm not going to use anybody other than the direct family members, and the only new people that I will add is through children. So we have Trina and Variel, the Milkhams. They'll be our first family. And after selecting the map that we want to go to, we choose something easy. On Purplefinger, Maine, yes, that is the name of the island, we'll be finding our homestead. So we begin in this lovely little patch of wood. Our adventure begins, resources strewn about, our lovely homesteaders just milling about doing nothing. So I set them to work quickly, building a home and a shelter. My main goal with this was getting them out of the woods, so I thought, let's get this little floor built up. And things were looking good on the shelter. I went ahead and adjusted the job schedule to make sure we prioritized building, and we continued our work. They comfortably slept, which is great. They're now sleeping in the shelter, and we have travelers. Mr. Eldridge came by to visit our homesteaders, which was nice. Thankfully, he was able to pitch in around the homestead and help us set up our crafting area, which we needed for the next portion, which is building fences. You see, the biggest issue that I had right now is protection and shelter. Now that we've taken care of the shelter, we're going to work on protection. That's fences to keep the bad stuff out and the good stuff in. Unfortunately, we don't have the crafting level in order to be able to build them just yet, so we had to set up crafting tables in order to level that up. So that's what we began to do. Just continuing our life here. We worked out our daily schedule, gave them a routine. They have very little free time. It's all about working. And that's when I started to notice something strange.
Fast whiskey.
But we're not going to talk about that now, because it's a happy day, the sun shines out, and everybody's working. So we won't discuss what I just saw taking place in the 1 hour of free time that I gave Trina. So keep on moving, time passes, and we continue to build up our homes. We've now focused on learning how to make stump chairs, which I didn't know took a lot of focus, but here we are. Spent the whole day trying to figure out how to sit on a stump. Until this happened. The powers that be in the universe beyond decided it would be a good thing to plant a portal right here. So I readied the troops, rallied them with what little they had, looks like stone hatchets, and unfortunately, as much as the monsters were defeated, we were also defeated as well. Variel died, and so ended our journey here with the Milkham family. It was actually very sad, and Variel got to journey to his final rest in the clouds above. But our journey isn't over. We're going to start off with a new family, so let's go. We decided to select the Oatwebs. Lovely older family. I thought maybe with some wisdom and some life experience we'd be able to have a little bit better experience. So I decided to set them up and get them going. So let's find a little map, and let's find something easy, because last time we got smoked. Just decided to put them in a little easy area, and here we go. Once again, set out building their little shelter, getting them out of the woods, getting them out of the cold, and getting our work schedule set up to maximize that shelter before the crazy things could come and attack us again. It's pretty good. They're going to be worked hard here. I mean, that's just part of life on the frontier, is they'll be working hard, and they took to it like fish in water. They were swinging hammers, they were hitting nails, doing all the stuff that good pioneers should be doing. And at night, they still had to sleep under the stars because they didn't get their shelter done. I will add, this is the first night. This is not the second night, and we already have a portal. I don't know why this keeps happening. So, portal, and what I also didn't realize is that there was whiskey involved, so now they're both passed out. I was legitimately confused. I was trying to click around, figuring out why I couldn't get them to respond to the lesser imp there. They're both unconscious because they got into the whiskey. This is the second whiskey incident that we've had to deal with. Unfortunately, since they are unresponsive, one of them dies. Jords. And now we have who goes next. That's right, she also gets killed. So we lost them both to the trail, to the elements. They didn't even make it to a homestead. It's very sad. It's time to rethink. Had to decide on a better strategy because it wasn't working. So I decided to start off with a really strong character and just put them in a more hospitable area that I would focus on solely developing defenses before the house. Say hello to Rugs and Sybil, our noble pioneers. They'll be the ones finding a new map and starting a new life. And what I mean by that is I'll be focusing on weapons and armor before I actually build them a house. So I went ahead and set up a crafting table under a tree, got them going. They're starting to make shields, bows. Ranged weapons are really powerful in this game. So I thought, why not? Let's go ahead. First night we have a visitor. This is a good sign. We can trade, we can get money. We're not having to worry about getting food. This is where we want to be. It looks like things are going in the right direction, and Eve decides to attack. Fortunately, this time we were sort of prepared, which means that we took her captive, and we were all exhausted, so we all just fell asleep in the mud and the blood on the floor. Prisoner and settler alike. So the reason that we kept Eve around wasn't because we needed her labor. So technically when they are your captives, they can't work, and we're not trying to make her part of the camp. What I was really trying to do was just make sure that I didn't get too much bad reputation early in the game. So I decided if I can keep her alive and I'm nice to her, I can set her back out into the world, and hopefully she can spread some good rumors about us. So we continued. This time we've unlocked our fences now. We begin setting up the crafting station. So the way that it works is we have the farms there in the middle, which now you can see that are planted, and now we also have this cooking and crafting station. And all is going well. We have food to eat. We have shelter. There's a system, we're farming, we're hunting, cooking. It is going so well. But as with many things, Eve also died. There was an escape attempt, which is very sad. We tried to keep her alive, but they killed her anyway. I don't know why they went and did that. Accompanied by our first snow. The seasons are changing. So we had to now prioritize heat as well as food, which is now scarce because we're the winter, which is a really great way to get trapped out here where we've only focused on making weapons. That was really challenging to have to deal with, because now we're having to constantly deal with heat and style. One of our characters gets injured. I think it was something dumb like a sprained toe, but Rugs is completely out of commission at this point. We have recovery in the cabin, nice and warm, and poor Sybil over here just...
I'm in a kitchen with Muppets.
Okay, this was an accident. This was an accident. I did not mean to do this. There was a traveler coming through. I guess he was a shepherd. I went and attacked the deer. He attacked me. There was a whole thing. But we don't have to worry about food anymore. So what happens on the trail stays on the trail. This is our second attack? Yeah, this is our second attack that we've had to endure. But this time we prepared. We're armed up with swords. And we make quick work of him. Rugs almost dies. So she gets sent back home. Sybil, makes quick work. And we're not taking prisoners. We learned our lesson from last time. Bury them, give them a nice funeral, send them away, but we're not keeping anyone alive. They're a drain, and they could potentially kill us if they decide to run away. So Sybil does not make that easy. It's very messy. So hopefully we can level up that skill. Again, third attack. This is like night after night we are being attacked. Our bows are ready. Complete whiff on those arrows, so we're going to have to level up that skill. We'll add training to the schedule as well. They're not going to get much sleep, but we make quick work of them. And again, no prisoners. I believe it was Rugs that time that did the deed, swift and quick. Yes, and a level up for it too. Talk about rewarding good behavior on the trail. And another one, this time it connects. This is another attack and a quick execution. Justice is swift out here on the range. We're not taking any prisoners, but the problem is I don't have any more people that I can put to work, and the workload of maintaining this farm has become so challenging that I need descendants or family members or something in order to make this work. So we began the process of finding Sybil a suitor in order to facilitate some sort of marriage and children. Thankfully for us, like a few days later, we had a great feast, and Haleth, who thankfully, of all of the bachelors out here on the range, is actually compatible with Sybil, so they fall in love, which is a really great thing, because then it means if they have a child, then that child can be put to work on the homestead, which is great. Exactly what we need in this challenge. So quickly trying to advance the romance arc, giving them flowers, just crafting what you can do. And it's a nice life. We have 3 people working hard. We have Sybil, we have Rugs, we have Haleth. It's a great time. They're actually expanding out this living quarters over here. I thought we should be able to have one that's more highly protected, and then we can defend our spot a little bit better, considering that the enemies are probably going to get a little bit more intense now that we're advancing just a little bit further. But unfortunately, at night, this fateful evening, Sybil and Rugs begin a fight, and it comes to swords, and due to all the training and lack of taking prisoners, Rugs like completely annihilates Sybil and then just walks off. Completely doesn't even bleed out, doesn't even injure, just annihilates and then leaves to go to bed, which is the saddest thing. The gods above are not pleased. And then Rugs starts talking to Haleth and asking all these really weird questions, implying that, oh, I like you, and I also like Sybil. I don't really know what to make of that. It was very aggressive. But from our humble beginnings to our challenges to the many other things we faced, the homestead was a ton of fun. I had been trying to play this game for a while, and I played it a little bit on stream, and I had always just gone like the main route of trying to maximize everything and get as many people as I could, but limiting it to just families really made me focus on a lot of the mechanics of the game, and it really was fun getting to farm and survive. It made it feel like the Oregon Trail. Which begs the question I've been wondering for a very long time. Why hasn't there been an Oregon Trail remake? And I've seen the web version, I've seen the mobile version. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a fun, survival, frontier game. We have to manage resources. I think people would eat that up. I know I would. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit while we do these fun challenges. And I'll be back in hopefully not too long of a time again.